I just have one. I can just say I'm.
You gonna sing the national anthem?
No.
Sing a national anthem for us?
No, I'm gonna sing.
She could do it. Yeah.
I'm gonna sing the other one. Which we sing before the national anthem.
God bless America. That's the easy one. Yeah, that's. Yeah.
But what's her name? What? What's her name? She's that old.
Oh, Kate Smith, the old lady.
No,
that's
not
even
Kate
older.
Smith. She's even older than that.
Oh my gosh.
She's famous.
Which one is God Save the Queen? The same melody.
Isn't it interesting?
Yeah.
Okay. It was already canned, just changed the word.
That's a rendition of the national anthem was Whiskey Houston.
Yes.
You know what? Truly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very true.
Spot
Not
on.
even
That was, yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Oh, she nodded.
I'm just getting it connected to Facebook.
Watched myself, so I didn't do anything.
Like we said, we had a prayer.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Lonnie, we've decided we're gonna have a prayer before we speak.
You know what? The board used to do it. I don't care.
Yes, we're good.
Please, for this one.
That'll be the prayer right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're good.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome everybody to the April open meeting of Fairfield POA. And we'll all now do the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Madam Secretary, would you establish a quorum, please?
Thank you, Mickey. Mickey Lloyd.
Here.
Dennis Brown.
Here.
Don Harmon.
Here.
Barry Gardner.
Here.
Shane McGuinn.
Here.
Maureen Walsh. Here. And myself. And we're all here, sir.
That being done, we now have a secretary's report. Ms. Becker.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to approve the March minutes. I'll second the motion.
A motion and a second. All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Any discussion? Motion's approved. Treasurer report, Mr. Harmon.
Assessments are slightly behind last year. We're 97% compared to 99% last year. The revenue is up 91,000. Payroll, all departments were under budget except for fire and community patrol. And payroll's 115,000 good year to date. I'd like to thank all the employees at this time. One of the reasons payroll is so good is most of our employees pulled extra duty because we were short personnel, and they do deserve a big thank you. Operating expenses are over for the month at 51,000, but year to date operating expenses is only over $11,422. Capital spending this month is $3,548. That includes a tiller for the golf course and a wheelchair swing for the rec center. I'd also like to thank the American Legion, who donated $1,563 toward the wheelchair swing. So we owe them a little gratitude too. And that's all I have at this time. Any questions?
I get a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that.
Motion made and approved. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'll move into the president's report. This time, until further notice, the president's report will be shorter than normal. A lot of times the POA management report and operations report and the president's report overlap. And we talk about the same thing, so we'll try to shorten that up for us and you. As most of you are aware, our POA president, Mike Barnwell, resigned effective with his family's move out of state. We wish Mike and Julie the very best and thank them for their contributions to our community. As your POA vice president, I will be stepping into the president's role until our next election. Your POA board and I are honored that you elected us to represent you for your governance. Our world is feeling heavy. We're still challenged by COVID, political challenges, regardless of your stance, riots and injustice, severe weather, all adding to our other exhaustions of life. But we can be thankful that spring is such a beautiful time of year in our Fairfield, bringing hope for a better tomorrow. With the natural beauty, colorful flowers, lake activities, neighbors outside, children smiling and playing. Can't help but be happy and begin thinking about days to come. Thank you to all of the homeowners for taking such pride in maintaining your yards. And a very special thank you to the Grounds Beautification Committee for your dedication and hard work. The main gate area is especially pleasing to the eye. Your time and care towards these efforts greatly enhance our community and our health, even maybe our mental health. You should also recognize the importance and be aware of your speed while driving in the community. The warmer weather attracts more outside activities, including walkers, bikers, and children playing near roadways. A vehicle accident can change your lives and the lives of your neighbors. Speed limits are set to protect us all, so please abide by the set speed. Remember, you can always drive slower, but you should never drive even 1 mile an hour above the speed limit in our community. Additionally, keep in mind that you are responsible for your actions of your guests, minor children, and all others who resided in your household. The POA staff has been hard at work preparing and mailing important documents, including dues and other fee notices to our residents. Our financial obligations are also part of our responsibility as residents of Fairfield and allow us to maintain and improve our community. I encourage you to review the budget and how your funding is allocated. My wife, Lanita, and I plan to get out more and enjoy all that life in Fairfield has to offer. We hope you plan to do the same. Thank you. Okay, at this time, I'd like to announce that Dennis Brown has been elected by the board to take my position as vice president. And welcome and thank you. Condolences.
Yeah.
We now have the operations report, Ms. Kennedy.
Okay. As the state of Georgia slowly returns to normal, so does the association. As of May 1st, we have 2 changes. And the first being that the no guest policy that's currently in effect at the amenities will be lifted and we'll return to our normal summer operations. Just as a reminder, residents are allowed up to 4 free guests per household. After 4, it's $2 per guest, and residents are limited to 10 guests total. If you intend on bringing more than 10, you must have a scheduled party through the POA office. This policy is in place so that all of our residents may enjoy the amenities. You also need to have a valid proxy card with your name and address visible and a photo ID to enter any of the amenity facilities. In addition to the amenities returning to normal in May, so will the open POA meetings. The May POA meeting will be held in person at the Recreation Center and open to all residents that wish to attend. We will still continue to utilize the Zoom platform and stream on our Facebook page. All property owners should have already received their annual statement by now. If you have not, please please contact the POA office and we'll reprint it for you. I want to remind everyone that the assessment is due on May 1st and late charges and interest will be posted to accounts no later than June 1st. If you're renewing a watercraft or golf decal, please do not forget that the POA office will need an updated copy of your insurance as the policy from the previous year that we have on file has expired. I also want to take a moment to clarify the newly implemented credit card surcharge. Initially, the board approved a 3% surcharge in March. However, after reviewing our credit card charges that we are charged, we realized that on certain cards, the surcharge amount would be higher than our fee paid for the transaction. After this realization, the board electronically voted to lower the surcharge to 2%. The surcharge is solely for offsetting our costs and is not being used for additional income. We're simply charging the fee back to the people using the cards versus having all the residents pay for the convenience of use. So that's all I have.
Thank you. You hit on the credit card as old business, but I'd like to remind everybody that we did approve the sale of 6091 Wayfarer Drive and 2103 Branch Court as an old business. Now we'll move on to new business. The bathymetric study, which is a silk study, as most of you know, several of the codes and other places on Lake Terra need to be looked at to see if we have too much silt and if it needs to be removed. And in order to determine that, and if so, put together a schedule when we can do it and how we're going to come up with the money. It's very, very expensive. So right now, I'd like to have a motion to approve up to $8,000 to perform a silk study on Lake Terra.
I'll make a motion to approve up to $8,000 to perform a silt study on Lake Terra.
I'll second it.
Motion's been made and seconded. All approve it. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Second course of business is the golf court bathrooms. Both of them are pretty bad. They need to be repaired, and we've done an in-house study, and Allison has really done a lot of work researching what we should do with these bathrooms, if we should keep it on septic tank or tap into the sewage water line. So at this point, I'd like to make a motion to approve $19,600 to repair and tie both golf course bathrooms into a sewer system. And this will alleviate the complaints we get and the ones made on Facebook. It's guys using trees for the bathrooms. It's really a big, some people do get offended with that. And I know it does happen quite often. So I'd like to make a motion to approve $19,600 to repair the bathrooms on the golf course.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
We got a motion and a second. All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We've got several revised lake rules that Lakes and Dams Committee has been working on hard for some time. Sometimes gone to the POA staff, reviewed by attorneys, and there's a lot of them. At this point, I'm going to make a motion to approve the proposed changes to the Lakes and Dams rule regulations. Lake rule is down regulations, and there will be an email that will come out later this week outlining all those changes for all the residents to read for themselves instead of going into all of this reading tonight. Do I have a motion to approve the proposed changes to the Lakes and Dams rules by the committee?
I'll make a motion to approve the rules as provided by the Lakes and Dams Committee.
And I will second that.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Right now, the golf maintenance and the grounds and maintenance have been sharing the skidster. back skidster / backhoe with one another to continue to maintain their responsibilities. Well, we got one of skidsters that's totally worn out. It's being held together by duct tape and baling wire. I know any of you that grew up in the country know that your tractors were really maintained by baling wire and duct tape, but they only last so long. And this skidster is gone. And I'm gonna make a motion at this time to approve $26,000 for the purchase of a used skidster to a course to replace the unrepairable backhoe.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
A motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, let's move on into lot management. I need a motion to deed back 3193 Lakeview Parkway.
I make that motion.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Do I have anybody that would like to make a committee report or an update at this point? The Greens Committee.
I have an update on greens. As many of you know, back in the fall, an herbicide was applied to the greens to kill the weeds on the greens. This left many bare spots, but I'm happy to report that there's been significant progress and many of the bare spots have filled in. The temporary greens that we've been using on the back nine have been removed and all greens are now open for play. Our maintenance staff still faces many challenges, and the biggest one is probably the outdated irrigation system on the back nine. The irrigation on the front nine was replaced last spring, and the board has come up with a plan to replace the irrigation on the back nine next fall, December of 2022. I'd also like to mention that Jason has been giving updates regarding course maintenance in a monthly newsletter. This newsletter is included in the community email blast, and it can also be found in the Plantation Press. Finally, I want to share that we sold 4 new memberships last month, bringing our total number of memberships to 110. As course conditions continue to improve, we expect the number of memberships to continue to rise.
Thanks, Jay. Would you like to say anything about rec?
I sure would. So as Allison mentioned, we're going to be opening up committees and stuff like that. And that includes the rec committee. And we have our first meeting on May 11th at 6:30 at the rec center. So if you haven't received an email yet and would like to be on the recreation committee, please reach out to the POA and they can make sure that you're put into, they get your email and you're assigned to that committee. A couple of things I wanted to bring up. Randy's been working really hard on, she's been killing it really, working on the library up at the rec center. And she's been pressure washing some of the playground equipment and stuff like that, because we have some new things that are coming in. As was mentioned earlier, we have a wheelchair swing that is coming that was donated. And I'm really excited about that because it's going to open up, hopefully a lot of opportunities for not only handicapped children, but, potentially handicapped adults that still would like to get their swing on. So wait, let me rephrase that. That still would like to swing with maybe their grandchildren.
Where do you sign up for that?
Yes, my apologies. We also have some new swings that were installed, and some of you may have enjoyed them already, but it's nice to have some, color out there in the swings and everything. We also have a new swing that's coming that just arrived today that I'm super excited about. I've worked really hard to try and force the board to buy this for us. So it's called a mommy and me swing, or an expression swing, where you can swing with your child, in the same apparatus. So I'm looking forward to that, and probably in the next week or so it'll be installed. We've got plans for new mulch and everything to go down and just clean up that whole area. And we have some money set aside also to potentially buy some new apparatuses. So look forward to that happening soon. I'm just going to move on to community relations, if you don't mind. Community relations is also, it's mostly been the 4th of July celebration, the whole weekend, which, by the way, I'm going to have all the board members participate in helping with the 4th of July celebration this year. So I'm really excited about that for their volunteering for that position. And so be looking for them on 4th of July weekend. We have started preparations for that. We have a lot of the same events planned. We have a few new things that are planned as well. We'll be sending out an email blast and obviously post in social media. So stay tuned for all that. Thank you.
A few hours will be participating in that by riding on the Veterans Club.
Yeah, we'll try.
Holding a flag.
Try to stay on. Any others?
Document management.
Okay.
Just a short update on document management committee. As you know, we're reviewing and reconstituting the declaration of restrictions. We've completed it and sent it to our outside HOA attorney, George Nowak. He has reviewed it, sent his comments back to us. Document management committee will meet tomorrow at 10 o'clock here in the POA conference room to review his comments. The plan is to see what he has to say, incorporate what needs to be incorporated, and get this darn thing out to the community for a vote in late May. Hopefully have your votes back with approval shooting for the end of the year. So,
Thank you, Barry. Anyone else?
So I'm
Go ahead.
newly appointed to community grounds and enhancements. So I'll be reaching out to the committee head in the near future, and I'll provide an update next quarter.
I've got property control.
Okay.
Let's see, wanted to let you know the property control committee is meeting twice a month now to review property control applications and new construction applications. We've had very full agendas at most of these meetings, often reviewing 30 to 40 applications per meeting. At the last meeting on April 6th, 31 applications were reviewed, including 6 for new construction. Since the start of the year, we've had 309 property control violations opened. The vast majority of these are for maintenance and landscape initiatives. Also want to remind you that we've had problems in the past with selective enforcement of our rules. That should not be a problem now, but as a community, we need to be vigilant to make sure it doesn't happen again. Thanks.
Anybody else? Any board members wish to have anything on their mind they want to talk about right now that you can? You still live here?
oh,
I'd like to make a motion to close.
Okay. Got a motion to close the meeting. I get a second.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. Sorry. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We're now out of the meeting. We have an open forum where people can call in and ask questions and make comments. We do have a few rules. There's a 2-minute limit set for each person wishing to speak. Persons cannot share any minutes. Unused minutes will not be given to another person to use. Please understand that no derogatory or out of order remarks are permitted during the meeting. Open forum is intended for orderly and productive, I'll repeat, productive interaction with your board of directors. To ask a question, use the raise hand icon on the Zoom app. At this time, we'll open the forum. Who has the list?
Just waiting to see if anybody has a question.
You're kidding me. This is wonderful. We must be doing a good job.
That's what I was thinking.
All right.
either that or we're technologically challenged. One or the other.
All right. That being
That
said,
being
then
said or not said, we are adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.